Hello, my name is Edward Garlick, and I'd like to present information to you today regarding the Wallingford Fire Department pathway to membership and certification for volunteer first responders. If you'd like more information on me, my background, or why I am choosing to present this information, you can go to the Facebook page Support Our Wallingford Volunteer First Responders. This video will be posted there along with other content and possibly more videos as time goes on, with the goal of creating, supporting, and increasing advocacy for our volunteer first responder community. You'll read on the Facebook page it's a gap that I think I've identified over the past few years as a recently retired from service volunteer, and it's my hope to be able to present compelling enough information as objectively as I can to increase visibility of our volunteers, the issues that they face, and what we can do as a community to pull together and support them, to try and get them back to a sustainable level where they can continue to contribute and volunteer and provide a service to the town of Wallingford. So, looking at volunteer recruitment, the pathway to certification and membership, we have to go back to 1992. The chief of the department at that time was forward-looking enough to institute a recruitment and training program. Wallingford is very lucky in that the fire department, or the town as a whole, and the fire department operates a training campus to the rear of Central Fire Headquarters at 75 Masonic Avenue. That training campus consists of classrooms, or a large classroom on the second floor of the rear of Central Fire Headquarters, a training tower, 3-story building with burn rooms and roof simulators on the structure where they can do Class A type fires for training and certifications. Class A fires are wood-fueled fires. To the rear of the training campus is an elevated roof simulator, so it's above ground on telephone poles, and it simulates different pitches of roofs for folks to go up and train on and perform job performance reviews to demonstrate their skills in roof work. There's a below grade or below ground confined space entry simulator, as well as flat pads, asphalt pads for vehicle extrications, car accident simulations. Part of the training grounds or the training campus is a large warehouse type facility with bays for apparatus, spare apparatus, equipment, and other training material like forcible entry doors and things like that. So it's an impressive training campus, which is very uncommon among municipalities in our area. Not too many departments have that as an available resource. So the chief at the time in 1992 saw the need for the volunteers at the time and built out this training curriculum. So as a new applicant, as someone coming into the volunteers and submitting an application, you would be interviewed, sent for a background check, sent for a physical, and then placed in the queue to receive training. Training occurred in what we'll call the 1992 to 2012 model, once a year from January to July. In that time period, you received an emergency medical certification in EMR. It's a basic, back then it was MRT, but EMR, emergency medical responder certification for emergency medicine, and a fire certification at the firefighter 1 level, which is the basic entry-level recruit fire certification for Connecticut, and to be able to operate in the Wallingford Fire Department. That class was conducted at Central Fire Headquarters, usually ran 15 to, at the very high end, 24 members. In that class, if there were open slots or there was availability, we would be able to take partner agencies and offer them training for their volunteers. So North Haven, Cheshire, Durham, North Branford, their departments could send members if they needed certifications to Wallingford to take the training as well. So we were reaching out to our partner agencies and helping in that way. The class itself, we estimate, cost around $20,000. It's a hard estimate. The records aren't there. They can't find them at headquarters, so we don't know for sure. But overtime costs, because the classes were taught by career staff members at Central Fire Headquarters, so they would bring them back on overtime. There were fire service instructors that taught the class, augmented by volunteer fire service instructors from our ranks. But it was administrated at the career level to keep the onus off the volunteers, so we could focus on our stations, our reoccurring training that we needed to complete, and keeping the members motivated and going out on calls. So that was our focus. It worked well. We beat national averages in the 92 to 2012 model. So much so that we members from my department, a captain from my station at the volunteer station at East Wallingford, went out with a deputy chief from the career side and spoke at least one, I think two, other volunteer departments that were combination in the same situation we were. Why were we fighting the national trend? We were exceeding it. We were beating the attrition levels and building our membership. So Wallingford was operating outside of the national trend. We were winning in the system. So that was occurring in the 92 to 2012 model. 2012 comes, the chief of the department at that time decides the cost would no longer be beneficial to the town. The return on investment from volunteers entering the system no longer met the price tag that came with it, and we were told that the administrators would no longer approve the funds at the town level. That money would no longer be obligated for the volunteer recruit class, so it was canceled. The model changed. Application, background check, physical, find your own training at that point. So you would come in, meet with us as volunteer members. We would help you find a class. Hartford, the Valley, Fairfield, maybe a volunteer department was sponsoring a class somewhere. So you would travel to that class, pay up front out of pocket for that class, hopefully finish it, come back to town, provide your certification, and you'd be put in service. EMT, EMR classes $500 to $600, EMT $1,000 to $1,400, firefighter $1,900 to $1,200 plus cost of travel and expense, depending on where the class was. After a year of service, after completing your class and coming back and starting to respond, you would be reimbursed under the 2012 to June 2020 model at whatever the Connecticut Fire Academy's rate was at the time. So if you took a class for $1,000 in Fairfield and traveled to Fairfield to take that class, if at that time the Academy was offering the class at $850, that was what you were reimbursed. So that was a deterrent. We lost a lot of incoming members because of that, the travel. We weren't able to recruit to a class, to a appointed class like in the 92 to 2012 model, and we saw attrition start to exceed incoming volunteer members. 2014, the volunteers teamed up between the companies that were in service, went to the chief and said, we want to run our own recruit fire class. We have the instructors to do it in our ranks, certified fire instructors. We want to do this. With some convincing, the chief agreed. We ran the class, took in, I think, 15 or 16 members for the class, graduated 12 from this was 2014 that this class occurred. From 2014 to 2020, the attrition rate obviously followed out. 2 to 3 years is what we find that we generally get from a member coming in. Folks are coming to the department to get experience and training because they want to be career firefighters. It's a natural evolution of things. Wallingford's recruit class was a great farm team, a great feeder system for the career department. Many of our members are on that department now in contributing to the career side. So that feeder system went away. We lost a lot of the incoming members due to the out-of-pocket cost of having to pay up front. People who weren't fiscally in a place to be able to put that money out, they basically couldn't volunteer. So we saw that in the numbers of incoming members. So it was a little discriminatory against people who weren't in a position to put out that type of cash. So moving forward to July of 2020, new model. Each year we would request that the class be reheld, submitting our numbers through attrition, but each year we were denied. 2015 hits, and the Yalesville Volunteer Station closes due to attrition rates and not being able to meet them. So their membership went down to around a dozen members. The chief of the department determined that that was no longer a sustainable station, and he closed it. Their members that wanted to stay on after the closing spread between North Farm Station and the East Wallingford Station. So further adding to the point that the sustainability was lost in the 92 to 2012 model. July 2020 hits, things change again. Applications come in. If you don't have a certification, a valid certification, you're told to go find one before we'll actually process you. If you have an application, we'll send you if you have a certification, we'll send you for a background check and a physical and put you in service. But if you don't have one, you come down to find your own training and then come back and see us when you're done. The logical progression for that is to take an EMT or an EMR course. So you're talking $500 to $600 or $1,000 to $1,400 plus your gas, plus your time and travel wherever you could find the class. Fire 1, if you can't find an EMT and you want to do a Fire 1, there's a problem there because you can't take a state academy, regional fire academy class without being sponsored by a fire department. So you have to find a contract company that's doing it privately at maybe a volunteer or a firehouse somewhere in the state, or you have to go to a course like Gateway offers, a collegiate level course where you don't need affiliation. But in that case, you need to rent your own gear. So $1,000 to $1,400 for the class, $900 to $1,200 for the Firefighter 1 class, PPE, which is your turnout gear, jacket, pants, gloves, boots, and a helmet, $1,000 for 4 months. GearRental.com type websites will give you that information. SEBA, the air pack, $1,000, $200, $250 per month for 4 months. Again, SEBARental.com type websites will get you that. You can rent them and have them shipped to you. You have to pay for your own physical from your own physician to clear you to take the class, because an instructor won't allow you to take these strenuous firefighting classes without being medically cleared, and then you're eating the cost of travel. When you get certified, come back with your certificate, present it to the department. We'll do a background check on you. Hopefully you pass it, because if you don't, you're out the money. We won't take you. We then move you to a physical. If you pass the background, hopefully you pass the physical, and there's nothing wrong, because if you don't pass it, you're out the money, whether it's EMS or for the fire certification. If you are admitted and you do start serving the community, you do 1 year of service. You need to maintain an average of 20% of calls, which is being looked at now because it's kind of an unreasonable request. If you're at the station 2 or 3 nights a week and there aren't calls occurring while you're there's no way to build up to that 20%. So to their credit, the career staff, the chief of department is looking at maybe remodeling that requirement. 2012, the last class that was run in town, I can give you numbers for the East Wallingford station as I remember them. We had 31 or 32 members on staff. 2013, there was no class. 2014, the volunteers ran their own class. Attrition wasn't met fully. In 2014, we lost, I think, more than we gained between those members going out amongst Yalesville, North Farms, and the East Wallingford stations. 2012, we maintained around 31 or 30, I'm sorry, 2014, we lost one. We went from 32 to 31. From 2014 to 2020, we are now at 10 or 11 members that are certified firefighters. So the attrition is real. The ability for us to meet that attrition is not there. The volunteer ranks are not sustainable under the 2012 to 2020 or July 2020 moving forward model. There's no sustainability. We've made the chiefs aware of that. They are aware of this due to their position and understanding the dynamics of the department, but due to a lack of advocacy in the community, I think the information's not getting out there and people just don't know, and there's just not enough support for the volunteers to move forward on reinstituting a model like 92 to 2012, where we'd be able to reinstitute training, reinstitute the ability to go out and recruit numbers of people per year and exceed the attrition rates that we see as a volunteer organization in town. So that's my reason for doing this type of presentation. That's the reason that I chose to retire from service this month. On July 25th was my 27th year of active service, more than a decade as the assistant chief at the East Wallingford station. The impact that I was having as a company officer was local, in local training and getting the truck out on the road for calls, but the overall impact wasn't there. I was having no success at trying to reinstitute some type of a training program for volunteers to try and get sustainability back. So I made the decision to come out on my own as a member of the public and try to act as an advocate for the volunteers. That's the purpose of this right now. So hopefully the information that I present today and moving forward in other videos will be compelling enough for people to take a look at what's been going on, maybe reach out to your elected officials on the council or in the mayor's office and question why the return on investment for maintaining sustainability in the volunteer ranks is not measuring up to the price tag of a $20,000 or $25,000 training class per year. So I plan on doing a more direct Firefighter One program video just to try to unpack that and show people in the community that might not know what that is like and what that's all about and where the costs are incurred with that. Maybe having to purchase additional gear because the class hasn't been run since 2012 and things have been let go. But the improvements to the training facilities are outstanding. Millions of dollars have been spent to upgrade them and make things new. So the base is there, the capabilities there, the support amongst a good majority of the members is there. They all want to teach and take part in this type of program. So thank you very much for your time. I hope this was compelling and informative. Take care.